Scott, can you share, kind of briefly describe your roles with Chi Alpha over the years, and maybe if you want to share some highs, some things you've seen God do in your ministry, and then even some lows, just kind of some of those highs and lows that you've seen over the years.
Sure. I was our first director for Chi Alpha at the University of Arizona. And I had never really, because Arizona was new in terms of pioneering Chi Alpha, and InterVarsity was primarily student run as well. I'd never really seen like the full-time, staff person on there. So I was our initial person at the University of Arizona. Man, we saw God I could tell you story after story of Jesus showing up in dorms and in classrooms, in the students being delivered of demon powers, just powerful things happening publicly that would shake the campus. And so I spent 15 years there and had great influence in the athletic department. When I went on, my heart was I wanted every university student to have a gospel opportunity presentation prior to graduation. And so people would kind of laugh at me. Hey man, how many are in your Chi Alpha group? 30,000.
Yes.
I really blew the Chi Alpha census. That was 30,000 mine, because every one of them, man, I'm claiming they're all part of the ministry. I'm here to serve them all. I'm here to serve them all, engage them all. But we just saw some just powerful things, and saw students, commit to the nations of the world. This is kind of at the University of Arizona. We began to become real strategic in our going in missions and sending people, making the call for students to consider something more than 2 weeks. And so it began to, it was kind of a template for that. At the same time, there were some great challenges, back in those days, and this will probably come up. When I started, we lived by faith, and we talked a little about fundraising. There wasn't any support of that. There wasn't any training. The only qualifications you need to do Chi Alpha was you needed to be willing and alive. I mean, those were the two. That was it. There were no other qualifications. Does he have a pulse? Is he breathing? Okay, you're on. There were no qualifications, and there were no budgets set. It was just go and you live by faith. So I did go through some challenging times, not raising a full budget, wanting to do things with excellence, but not always having the funding to do so. So those were lessons learned. From the University of Arizona, the Lord called Crystal and I very strategically. And we had a Damascus Road experience. He asked us to leave the University of Arizona and pioneer the student missions arm of Chi Alpha. And at that point, Chi Alpha really wasn't, we didn't have our mission structure that we have today. We understood the significance and the potential of mobilizing university students into global mission. But frankly, it was way at the bottom of our priority list. Way at the bottom of our priority list. International student ministry would happen if it was convenient. If we happened to bump into an international or they came, it was every man unto themselves, basically, in ministry at that point. So we moved to the National Chi Alpha office to become part of the team, and our primary focus was global missions. And we stayed away from the seduction to expand and do other things. We said, no, we're sticking only on this rail and this lane. We're not going to deviate from that. And so we pioneered the student missions arm of Chi Alpha, and we did that for 18 years. Now, during that time, we also did 2 stints in Central Asia. And so we planted Chi Alpha in the nation of Kyrgyzstan, planted the flag of Christ there, and we brought a team of 13 Chi Alpha alumni with us. And then from there, we also planted in Kazakhstan as well, bringing another team into Kazakhstan. We've just said this, we're not going to ask any of our students to do what we haven't done or we're not willing to do.
That's good.
So as the national mission directors, and we're calling students to give Europe a lifetime, consider the long term, we said we need to really plant that flag. So we did that. And then we had a transition of our national director in Chi Alpha after 35 years, who we loved.
Yes.
So that opened up, and there was application went in. I never ever thought of pursuing that. For me, it was never an ambition of mine to become national director of Chi Alpha. But the Lord asked me to put my name in, and I did. And by his desire and providence, I have the great honor and privilege of serving today.
Wow. And what was that phrase? I've heard you say it before. Go for 2 years. No, consider 2 years, but pray about a lifetime. What is the phrase? What is the phrase?
You almost got it, man. Let me preface that with this.
Yes.
Anytime I'm speaking to our students about global missions, one of my things I always throw out there is this: the Mormons have been giving 2 years. We've been giving excuses.
Yes.
Man, the days of excuses have to end. We've got to step up. We're willing to assume our responsibility. So Crystal was the one who really coined the phrase, give a year and pray about a lifetime.
That's it.
And that
Give
phrase
a year,
is
pray
taken
about a
traction
lifetime.
throughout all of Assumptions of God World Missions now. And it really began to shift culture, not just in Chi Alpha, but in the Assumptions of God Fellowship as a whole.
Wow.
And what started with Chi Alpha, challenge our students, hey, would you give a year? Our saying was, this isn't about a calling.
Mm-hmm.
This is not about a calling. This is about, I'm going to volunteer a year of service for you. And if you want me to do it longer, I'll go longer.
Wow.
Yep.
I'll do, but I'm going to just volunteer and give a year.
That's great.
So that was our big thing. This isn't about a call. This is about a volunteering.